I'm Tamara Jewett, and I'm a pro triathlete. Today we're at the Milton Velodrome in Ontario, and Argon 18 has sent a big part of their research and development team here from Montreal, and we're doing a bunch of aero testing.
My name is JF Leclerc. I'm the Global Marketing Director for Argon 18. We're doing some testing with Tamara Jewett. We're working with her to try to improve her position on the bike and test different products in order to hopefully improve the bike leg of her triathlon racing.
My name is Adrian Keeney. I'm an aerodynamic and structural analyst at Argon 18. Today the goal is to really optimize her position, maybe do some tests with helmets and do some tests with possibly wheel sets to try and lower her aerodynamic drag. So that's a really key component to helping her go faster on the bike and to just reduce her overall time in her triathlons.
We're just setting up the bike on a trainer to get the basic position. So every time we do changes on the positioning or products, we'll come back here just to measure the difference in the position of the rider. So this is going to be the baseline that we're starting with. She's going to do some laps so we can measure the performance in this particular setup. And then as we do changes, we'll compare the results and hopefully get some gains. Yeah, so we'll do like we did last time, take a photo every time we change something so we can have the measurements after.
Perfect. How do we get up to the track? Part of my approach is wanting to achieve at a very high level without just living my life as though I'm a sports machine, and really giving time to my other interests, to relationships that are important to me, and to doing sport in a healthy way. I feel really invested in trying to show that that approach can succeed. Full Heart Ahead is about the concept of being a full person in sport and being able to strive for excellence, but in a way that feels sort of like globally fulfilling to like your full personhood and sort of like all of the deeply felt emotions involved in that.
So right now they just need to set that the equipment's all functioning properly and get some baselines, and then now the testing gets to begin.
When we look at our product in general, we're trying to understand the whole package. So basically there's obviously a bike, but there's different components, and then the's a rider and the way that the rider is dressed, the rider's position, and the power output, and the different type of riding. So all of this work together. We've done quite a bit of research and trying to figure out what are the most effective positions that we're aware of that are being ridden by different riders around the world, and also try to understand where Tamara is coming from and also what we're capable of potentially improving. It is quite a challenge to get a facility like this for several hours by ourselves, so we wanted to make sure that we were optimized and that we were using our time the best way. Of course, we've discussed with Tamara to kind of make sure that we were aligned on what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish and how the day would unfold.
I haven't been on many velodromes like this, and I haven't been on one since June, so it's feeling a little bit like trying to remember to skate again or something at the start, but we're smooth now and good.
My personal journey leading into triathlon started with like a lot of injury problems in track and field. My sports background is in running, but in trying to do track and field at a high level, my body just kept breaking down and kept breaking down and kept breaking down, and it just forced me to be more creative in the type of cross training I was doing and sort of network with other people. And through that, I met my triathlon coach, Suzanne, and she really encouraged me to do more swimming and biking and try a season of amateur triathlon, and that went really well, and my body has held up really well to it. I did 1 year as an amateur in triathlon before I went pro, and I basically won every amateur race that I did except one where I was second because I accidentally did an extra lap of the bike course. So that was like very successful, and when I went pro, I didn't really know what to expect, and I was pleased to also there have some good success. Things have gone really well. I've been really excited to be able to participate in the sport at a high level right off the bat. I feel really proud when I'm representing my country to feel like I'm representing sort of a whole network of people who have helped me get to where I'm getting. And so when I feel a sense of representing home, there's sort of like an abstract pride in my country, I guess, but there are also a lot of like really specific people and programs that have played a huge role in like shaping who I am as an athlete and as a person. And I feel really proud to be able to go out and succeed and sort of represent the work that I've put in, but that like a lot of people behind me have put in. JP is one of my most enthusiastic supporters and just puts so much energy into supporting like athletes around Toronto in general. He is an excellent bike fitter at Brown Sport, and it's sort of this like little hole-in-the-wall sports shop that has been there since 1922 that is an extremely competent and successful bike shop. Yeah, JP has like creative and helpful ideas about what to do with my bike and about different companies to reach out to as well.
This work is important because we're trying to squeeze every little watt and every little aero advantage we can out of the bike. She is so close to the top, and just getting Argon here, spending the time that they are to be able to try to find every little advantage we can for her is just super critical for her on race day.
Our relationship with Tamara started with the fact that she's obviously one of the top athletes in the world, but also a Canadian athlete. It is always important for us to try to support the local athletes, and especially the ones that are acting on the international scene. And aside from that Canadian element, it's also a matter of fit and making sure that we're aligned in what we're trying to do. So very early in the discussions, we found that we were aligned and we had a great like personality fit in what she's trying to do. And we also appreciate the way that she communicates with our audience and I guess the perception of Tamara within the triathlon community and outside of it. So as a brand, obviously this is important for us because we want her to showcase the performance of our product, but she's also an ambassador for our brand. So the fit and the personality and kind of the vision of the sport need to be aligned for us to be successful, and so far it's been great.
I had been looking for a good bike sponsor for a while, and the connection really happened partly because of JP at Brown Sport. He knows a lot about their bikes, but also deals with different companies. And they were interested when they approached me in the Ontario market, and because I'm based in Ontario, it was just a really good fit all around.
So we're just going to put her in a different position, more sort of angled upwards. And the theory being that it sort of acts as, her hands and her head being one bluff body. So for aerodynamic purposes, there's kind of two schools of thought. There's being sort of up high with the head and sort of being down low with the base bar, as low as possible. So that's kind of what we're trying to test today to see whether she can be optimized in those two positions. Currently, she's sort of in a hybrid position of those, so we'll see whether we can see any noticeable differences with the track test that we're doing now.
A test like the ones that we're doing today is interesting because it will kind of illustrate how a rider, regardless of their level, can improve their position and really adjust the bike and adjust the way that they ride the bike in a way that will perform good for them. And performance being better power output, better speed, and also, energy saving and being able to be comfortable and perform the race at the level that they want. So we feel like the learnings that we get from pro athletes really apply to amateur athletes as well. So what we're doing today with a pro like Tamara is helpful also for all of our customers or potential bike owners.
Once we get to this level with the top triathletes, a couple watts here, half watt there can be the difference between on the podium or not. It just turns into such small little gains over such a long distance, just becomes super critical.
Strange, but I can ride it. I don't know how it would feel like for 180 kilometers, but I guess the idea with testing this is to be like, does this improve anything? And if it does in some way, then it would be more like tweaking, like how do we make this more feasible? And then if it completely doesn't, then we don't have to bother with that.
Tamara is very easy to work with, and sometimes it can be difficult for an athlete to do these tests because we're asked to do, just do 10 laps and then stop and then do another 10 laps, another 10 laps, and wait for us to set up the bike. But it's been going great, and we've been able to stay on schedule and test different things. We also have preliminary findings that we're going to be able to explore a little further, but so far really happy with how the day's going.
Testing some different helmets now and see what tests the fastest.
I like the one she's got now, the CAFS one. It looks pretty cool, and just visually it looks like it's more aero. So it's one thing to look aero, it's another thing to be aero. That's why we're doing the test.
All right,
Okay.
we're done.
I'm tired and I didn't even realize.
Thank you.
The biggest change going into the 2025 season is that for the first time ever, I'm going to try a full distance Ironman. The plan is to do Ironman Texas, which is on April 26th. I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous about that too. It's going to be a big learning curve. It's twice the distance of what I do. So I think I will be a beginner at this in a way. So it could be like spectacular off the bat, or it could be like a little rough at first, and I have a lot to learn.
It's no secret that Tamara is a tremendous runner, and everybody fears her when she comes off the bike. They just try to run away from her. But I think we've embarked on this journey with her because Tamara wants to be a complete athlete, and she is already, but she's trying to improve on the swimming and the bike leg. And as a bike manufacturer, I think it's a good project for us in a way, because we can really work with her over a few years and try to see if we can impact her performance. So we hope that the journey with Tamara continues for multiple years. I think also as an ambassador, people now understand what we're trying to do together, and we hope that they can relate. And we know that a lot of people are fan of Tamara's, and we hope they make the connection and they kind of embrace our brand as well.
I'm really looking forward for Tamara to have a really breakout season on the bike. She's done some phenomenal things on the bike, and with just a few other key pieces of data and a few other key pieces of adjustments to the cockpit and helmet and a few other small things, I really think she's going to find that couple extra minutes we're looking for.
I'm excited to see how today went when we process the data a bit more, and hopefully that'll give us a lot of confidence in some changes that we can make to make my bike splits faster this season.